Hi, I'm Raina Morgan with iHealthTube, visiting with Robert Kowalski, the author of The Blood Pressure Cure. What role does stress play in high blood pressure and heart health?
We know for years doctors denied that stress had anything to do with blood pressure.
Did they really?
Absolutely. And I think one of the reasons for it is that doctors themselves are under a great deal of stress, and they like to deny. They're self-denying. Oh, stress can't be a problem because I've got a lot of stress. So don't tell me it's a problem. But indeed it is. And in fact, there's only one country in the world during my research that I found that does not label work stress, job stress, as being a major risk factor for hypertension, and that's Australia, oddly enough. But even here in the United States, it's recognized that job stress and other kinds of stresses raise the level of blood pressure and put us at increased risk of heart attack and stroke.
Well, what are some of the things that we can do to alleviate that stress without making major lifestyle changes?
Absolutely. You know, I don't care whether you're a millionaire or whether whatever your lifestyle happens to be, grass is always greener on the other side. Everyone in the world has stress of some sort or another. The question is how we're going to cope with that stress. We can go all the way back to the caveman days when the caveman was being chased by the saber-toothed tiger. He was at stress until he was able to climb the tree and escape the tiger and then wait for it to go away. Then he'd climb down the tree and just lean against the trunk and just be glad that the tiger's gone. Now, what did I just do? When I said lean against the tree, and the caveman would go, he took a deep breath. We can actively lower our blood pressure by a simple method such as deep breathing. And this is why in the book I actually recommend 3 to 4 of what I call mini vacations throughout the day. By a mini vacation, I mean take 2 or 3 minutes and simply find a chair like this one, only put your back up against it so the back is supported, feet on the floor. Close your eyes for 2 to 3 minutes and just picture your chest as a giant balloon that you're going to inflate as far as possible. Hold it for a moment and then gradually, slowly deflate the chest, feeling that balloon completely going down, letting your chest collapse into your lap. Again, do that for 2 to 3 minutes and your blood pressure, your stress levels, everything will come back down. You'll actually get, at the end, you'll feel as though you've taken a 20-minute nap. You're refreshed. We've talked about the home monitor for blood pressure.
Right.
If you were to have that cuff on your arm and sit down and push the button and just measure your blood pressure, then take a note of what that blood pressure was. Now leave the cuff on and just take that 2 to 3 minutes and start doing the deep breathing. 3 minutes later, push the button again. You'll see about a 10-point drop.
That's significant.
That is very significant. That's the same amount that you get out of a prescription drug.
My goodness.
Do it one time, and it's a parlor trick. Your pressure is going to go right back up. Get into the habit of doing it daily, 3 to 4 times a day, in the morning, coffee break, perhaps at lunch, either at the next coffee break or sometime during the evening. 3 to 4 times a day, do that 2 to 3 minutes, and now that 10-point drop will become permanent. In fact, there's a device on the market that's for sale that is a sort of a biofeedback thing. It's called Respirate.
Yes, you talked about that in the book.
Perhaps seen that, yeah. It has a device that instead of measuring the heart rate, it measures your breathing rate. So you have this band that you put around your chest, and then little earphones that are plugged into a device about the size of a telephone, and you hear little signals. Breathe in and breathe out, and it gets you into the zone of breathing about 10 times or fewer per minute. Most people breathe many, many more times per minute than that. They are shallow breathers rather than the deep breaths. As a result, they're not expelling all of the carbon dioxide from their lungs. The carbon
Okay.
dioxide builds up in the bloodstream, and that raises blood pressure. The board of directors of the company that makes that little device reads like the who's who in cardiology. And so it's solidly backed
Okay.
in science. Clinical tests have been run whereby people have been able, on a permanent basis, not one time like a parlor trick, but on a permanent basis across the day, lower their blood pressure by as much as 27 points. That
that's
is
pretty
very
amazing.
significant.
Yes.
So if someone were to have full-blown hypertension, let's say 150 over 90, 95, let's say, and would normally be someone who is a candidate for a prescription drug, were to just do that one simple thing, it would bring that person into a safe zone. Now combine that with other approaches that we have been talking about
Right.
and will talk about, and you can indeed bring your levels down to a point where you don't need the drugs. Now, the deep breathing, yeah, one of my favorites. Absolutely.
Okay.
I do it on a regular basis. I taught my children how to do it when they were just little bitty kids, and they do it till today. When they're under stress and under various circumstances, like when you get a traffic ticket or what have you, just literally just instead of getting hot under the collar, just do that deep breathing.